Thank you very much. I'm not going to even ask y'all about how the rest of the region feels about the gratuitous renaming of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. Is anybody using that besides us? I doubt it very seriously. Just another little slap in the face. But I want to talk about the drug issue. I was listening to you, Mr. Landberg. I've tried to jot down some of the things you were saying, bragging about what the INL has done. A lot of that was an accounting of some of the number of pills you've seized and the number of people you've captured. And you said, we want to hold criminals to account to protect the American people. We want to stop crime before it hurts Americans. We want to go after the labs and the kilograms and the undercover operations. All of that's very commendable. But it seems to me that the policy of the president is do as I say, not as I do. I'd like to go back to the ranking member's question about the pardon. We've seen two people, just off the top of my head, who have been pardoned because they are in the narcotics business. We had the former president, Juan Hernandez, who trafficked more than 400 tons of drugs and even said he wanted to shove the drugs right up the noses, I think it was noses, some body part, of the gringos. He was convicted, you said, with, I think, illegitimate charges. It couldn't be illegitimate charges. It was a jury trial. It wasn't some trumped-up political going after this person. It was a jury trial, so it couldn't have been illegitimate charges. And then you've also seen the president's pardon of Russ Albrecht, who was convicted of selling more than $200 million worth of drugs on the website. He got pardoned. Did he also have so-called illegitimate charges? Now, how can you do your job of improving relations with these countries in Central America and this region with the U.S. when we are pardoning the people who are doing the very things that we are trying to force them to do? Could you just reconcile that for me in a better way than just illegitimate charges? Both of you, either of you?
Thank you very much for the question, Congresswoman. And if I may, just very briefly, you and I met previously when we were lucky enough to host you in Timor-Leste when you came with the House Democracy Partnership, and that visit was so meaningful in that country. We really appreciated your attention there, and thank you very much for your attention here in the hemisphere.
Well, thank you.
With respect to what we're trying to do, I would say that we are absolutely laser focused on ensuring that the American citizens are protected from the pernicious influence of the cartels. We will continue to find partners that we can work with to attack those cartels and break up their business models, and that remains our focus.
Mr. Landberg.
Thank you for that question. I'll add on to that. Every single country that we're working with, from Mexico, down through South America, they also see this as a threat to them, and so we are seeing unprecedented levels of cooperation across the board with many of these countries, and specifically, as we've said, with Mexico. So we have opportunities, as President Trump has dramatically increased all the activities aimed at dismantling these cartels. We have a level of political will in the region that we have not seen in a long time, and we're taking advantage of that, and we're working to, degrade them, dismantle them, and that will lead to lower drug flows and protecting American citizens. That's the goal of INL. We're doing it across the region, and we continue to do it. And
I appreciate that, but that certainly doesn't answer my question. I don't think you want to answer my question, so you need not thank me for the question. But now you mentioned about HDP. That's something I care a lot about, helping to build up democracies where they are new on the scene or where they're backsliding. And apparently the administration has said American diplomacy should continue to stand up for genuine democracy. How can we stand up for genuine democracy when we have stripped so much of the funding for programs through USAID, where we do go and help to build up democracy? And since you've been experienced with it and you mentioned my work with it, maybe you could address that. Surely you're concerned about that.
Thank you very much, Congresswoman. We have redone our assistance platforms to be very strategic in the way that we're using taxpayer dollars and ensuring that they're meeting the administration's direct priorities, to include life-saving assistance, to include addressing security, stopping illegal migration, working to provide some stability in Haiti, and trying to find opportunities to build out on the national security strategies, focus on the Western Hemisphere as diplomatic opportunities present.
Okay. Okay, thank you.